Thank you for tuning in for this week's DiVerge Fitness Weekly 3 and 3. This week we're going to cover a very special topic, and that's our clients getting results. We do these videos to help you all, and that's the only purpose of these videos, and we sincerely thank all of you for watching them. If your body looks the same as it did 3 months ago, we greatly encourage you to watch this video. If your body has changed drastically, then obviously what you're doing has worked quite well. And today we're going to be covering how to get the best results possible in the minimum amount of time, specifically the hierarchy of fat loss. The first type of fat loss is going to be A. We all want to get A's in school, so A is going to be high intensity interval strength training. This is going to be doing lunges, doing pull-ups, things of this nature, kettlebell swings, the hammer strength push-pull that we have here at DiVerge Fitness, a strength type of movement that you can only sustain that activity for a short period of time. Going to B's, not quite as good as A's, we're going to be going to Chris Kendrick.
For B, you would want to do high intensity anaerobic training. So that means you're working at an intensity that you can sustain for a long period of time. Examples that we have at DiVerge Fitness include the Versa climbers, so you would go for short bursts and then you would rest. You can also use kettlebells to do that. You can use the battling rope, you can use the TRX, you can also use the treadmill and put it up at a high incline.
For those short bursts, how many seconds do we?
It would vary. You would go from anywhere from 3 seconds all the way to maybe 15 or 20 seconds, depending on your training experience, depending on how strong you are, how good a shape that you're in.
But no more than 20 seconds. So if you can sustain this activity, remember B's, not quite as good as A's, for a minute, you're not pushing yourself hard enough for that period of time. And again, this is going to vary depending upon the fitness level of the person. For some people, a walk at 2 miles per hour is going to be very strenuous for them. For other people, the Versa climber all out is going to be very strenuous to them. So please adjust this to your fitness level. Moving on then to C's, again C's being worse than B's. C's are going to be running on the treadmill for a period of time, the elliptical for a sustained period of time, pushing yourself, but still at a rate at which you could do it for 30 minutes to 40 minutes, something of that nature. So again, A's being high intensity interval strength training, B's being the lower intensity strength training, as Chris said, the kettlebell, the battling ropes, things of this nature, and then moving on to D's, just about failing.
Yeah, with D we're at low intensity aerobic training. So what JP said high intensity aerobic training, so that's something you would go for like a hard run for like 45 minutes to an hour, 30 to 45 minutes where you're working at least 80% of your maximum heart rate. Low intensity aerobic training, which JP I think we're seeing a lot here. There's a lot of people that are doing this, and this is not a type of training that's going to get you to lose body fat. It's just science just does not show that that's the case. So low intensity aerobic training would be you're just coasting along on the treadmill at a nice comfortable pace, or coasting along on the elliptical or the Stairmaster or whatever it is. And like I said, it's just not the most efficient way to lose body fat.
When you all think of D's, and that's what Chris was just speaking of, or D's, I want you to think of dairy cows. Big lumbering cows just slowly moving along through a field, and no one wants to look like a dairy cow. So again, D, think dairy cow. Next we're going to move to F. F is failing. Now F is only slightly below D. F is if you're sitting at home on your couch eating bonbons or eating Krispy Kreme donuts, something of that nature. That's going to be complete failing. And again, when we go through these A, B, C, D, and F, I really want you all to think of the grades in school. You always want to strive to get A's. Everyone is capable of an A. A's are different for everyone. You may have been the kid in school that was doing advanced calculus, and that was very hard for you, just as the Versa climber will be very hard for some of you. For some of you, you were the kids doing beginning algebra, and that was very hard for you. So again, approach these from your own fitness level. But we really want you all to get results. We don't want you to waste your time and we want you to use your time effectively to lose the largest amount of fat possible in an intelligent manner.
I think another story that I want to share with you as well, and you think about what we've just talked about, and the A's and B's, why they're so much better than the C's and the D's and the F's. Of course, I was talking with my mom, and my mom was telling me a story about my brother who, my brother saw a picture, an old picture of my uncle who has grown up on a farm all his life, still is on the farm right now in Ireland, and my brother looked at the picture and he said, how does Uncle Michael have abs, you know?
He didn't work out in a gym.
And he's never in a gym, worked at a high intensity on the farm, and that's the reason he had abs, is because while he wasn't using gym equipment, he was still doing things like he was pushing stuff around, he was pulling things around, he was lunging, he was squatting, he was twisting, he was doing all that stuff. He just didn't really know it, but he was working at a high intensity. It's that high intensity burst followed by some rest, and that's why he was so lean, that's why he had a six-pack, that's why he had the six-pack abs, because he was working at the high intensity. He wasn't moving around slowly like the cows that were around him like we talked about. You know, he was working at a high intensity, and that's why he was so lean, that's why he was in such good shape. And that's what we want to try and emphasize, that's what we're trying to emphasize here for you guys, is if you're going to get the results you want, you really need to work at a higher intensity.
Thank you all again very much. We look forward to seeing all of you here doing A movements, meeting with your trainer, following your exercise program assigned by your trainer. Thank you very much. We will see you all next week.